Alright, so it's a pleasure meeting you guys all. My name is Matt. I'm a luxury furniture designer here in the UK. And I've also been taking all of my kind of digital renderings and designing and transferring them into a bit of motion graphics. So me and Irene have been having a lot of these discussions about what it can do. And I'm sure as you guys have read in the waiver, you guys know pretty much what's going to be going on here. So I'm just going to be kind of conducting and leading through this, kind of facilitating a conversation, and we're just going to be recording this to see kind of what you guys experience and how you guys react. So if everybody wants to press play, first let's make it full screen, so in the bottom right hand corner if you haven't done so already.
No.
And then I would, volume is up, okay.
No.
So yeah, I think we can both press play. I think it should be fine. Playthrough? Okay. So, any first impressions? Kind of like a basic gut instinct about it. What you just saw? Did it feel convincible? Was it something that you could kind of relate to? Was it something that was new, let's say, for the eye to see, kind of to experience?
Yeah, for me it was new, and it seemed very immersive as you were there. I wasn't sure whether was inspired by this landscape, or also there was a connection between material and product. So for me it was more maybe inspired visually by these shapes, but I don't know whether there is a relation between the material produced. But I thought it was very very visually, and in a way you feel, oh, I felt I was there.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think there's a bit of a, I mean, he's running, or the person is running on kind of a lunar landscape, so it is very, I would say, technologically advanced, which I know that Nike is really pushing for. They've always been on the forefront of creating kind of these new technology in athletics. So yeah, definitely.
For me, I think like when they show like the how the shapes come up and how it moves and how it bounces on the land, it's very eye-catching, the whole thing, the color, everything is very eye-catching. But for me, it doesn't make me feel like I'm there, but it makes me look closely to like the feature of it, so, like the function of the shoes, and make it look more interesting than like comparing myself to go to the store and see the real thing. This make it more interesting.
Yeah, right. It gives you that kind of unreal quality that would be almost impossible to experience in real life. So that kind of projects it onto the product and onto the brand as well. Yeah.
For me, it brought up the theme of carbon footprint as well.
Ooh,
As I saw
that,
foot impacting on the land. I guess you could consider what impact your purchase is having in the environment. So that theme kind of came just as I could see it, as you were saying, as I saw it, the foot just impacting on the
Definitely.
That's interesting. Like for me, it didn't do anything. I didn't
Interesting,
like the video at all. Like I don't see any connection between Nike shoe and space environment. I don't see why they would do this. It doesn't speak to me at all.
Interesting.
The motion graphics was great. I think the quality of the video was amazing, but brand message-wise, why is it trying to tell me I don't get it. It doesn't do anything for me.
So do you think it was something that was beside their brand that didn't necessarily kind of speak to it? I mean, what about it? Was it?
I think it was just useless.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just so unrealistic in
It
the
was
sense
so
that
unrealistic.
Like the space thing is quite useless, I agree. But for me, like I said, it's only that when it zooms into like the soul that makes it look interesting. But the rest, like I don't understand. I don't think there's a story.
Right,
For me,
right.
like the footprint, I didn't connect to that.
Mm.
That's funny because I saw some kind of story, like with a beginning and an end, because it's like first you see the shoe that's coming out of the landscape and being created, like the structure and everything, and then it's like making an imprint, like a footprint in the landscape again at the end. So that was kind of like the story that I saw.
Right, yeah.
Now as far as like the connection between like the shoe and space,
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
sure,
That was
but
a bit more
I thought,
ambiguous. Like,
yeah,
connection to shared
that was
space for me,
more ambiguous. But maybe it's kind of like I guess I got like a kind of futuristic feel to it, right? Like technology and all these things. So
Yeah.
But I guess if you consider the material that goes into the shoe down to the microscopic level, that's something I didn't contemplate before I saw that video. So it did make me think, okay, well, where are these fibers being sourced from, and then what impact is it having on the environment? I guess that's mostly what I gathered from it.
yeah,
Right,
it
right.
made me think because the shoe like made with the dirt or the
Yeah,
the rocks or something. Like, what is that what they're trying to tell us? But
Right,
no, I liked it.
Interesting, yeah.
I liked the way it was so kinetically composed, and then that like being a mirror of also what the product does. But I felt that it was like really, really beautiful and really, really like visually appealing, but also just not for me. Like it was like an elite thing, piece of art or something. It wasn't like, I have running shoes at home right now, and I'm not gonna go like throw them out and then go get these. You know what I mean? Like if I had these, they'd be kind of the thing I'd put like up on the wall. Like they're like these are a piece of art. It elevated it, but it also kind of in a negative way. It removed it away from what it is that I actually like would use it for.
So
even though it was like actively like being formed in a way that it is to be used.
Right. So it didn't make you think that you're going to put on these shoes and you're just going to start flying through space?
No.
And just,
No. It just made me think like,
If only.
oh, they're really, I was like, oh, they're really pretty and like this is really nice and beautiful, but like I'm fine with the ones I have. Like they work, you know what I mean? Like it didn't. I didn't really understand like the difference of it, and I feel like the kind of like dystopian apocalyptic style of it is very in vogue and very like just like what's going on, very like timely, but at the same time it's like it was all kind of about like the solitary shoe and like that kind of like you're one of the survivors, you're one of the chosen ones. I think that just like came across to me.
To carry on the fire.
In the way that like some people feel like they're, I don't know, like I think a lot of the commentary around like sustainability from like is that it's like only for the elite, it's only for the like the high earners, it's only for people who can like afford it and whatnot, and like I feel like that only just kind of if this is about a sustainable shoe, then it kind of perpetuates it by being like you survived the like apocalypse and you're here running on Mars.
Right.
So
Okay.
It sort of was like I got a feeling like, what are you trying to sell me? Like, are you just doing this to make me buy something that's in my imagination? Like, it made me want to go to the store and actually look at the shoe in real life and be like, trying to compare what I saw there and trying to compare what I see in real life. And I feel like it probably is like, oh, this is just some rubber thing that's like made at some mass-produced factory, and it's really like, to sort of. I mean, it was a really cool video, but then I don't think it would actually. I think it would get me to go to the store, but then when I get to the store, I'd probably be disappointed as to what I'd see.
You would be convinced that it was like, now this new kind of product? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Did anybody, was anybody at any point kind of unsure whether or not this was all designed and created on a computer, or whether or not it was actually filmed on location? Did anybody see any kind of cross? Was anybody confused at one point? Or was everybody just convinced that this is like CGI This is a
Yeah.
computer
Yeah,
graphic.
Pretty much.
Everybody, okay,
Switch
okay.
out of the way.
Yeah, all right, okay.
That's a bit of Avatar.
Yeah, okay, all right, interesting. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, we'll press play on 3, 2, 1. On the volume on
We're action girls.
it. Action girls.
That one gyrated on my nerves in the beginning.
Yeah, honestly.
It's the music I couldn't stand.
Like-
Yeah, okay.
Kind of reminded me of the Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
video game,
Mhm.
and seemed to just get very repetitive.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe I'm just setting a negative tone for the whole
No,
but my
it's
instant
well done,
reaction was I really disliked it. But quite gaudy as well, the colours in that, wouldn't appeal at all.
But you're not an action girl, are you?
No, it's true. I'm not
But are they action girls too? I don't know, because to me they kind of just look like models, like on the catwalk,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like drinking her like can of soda.
She
Like
takes
that.
action girl, like one
Yeah,
chunk and then
super
cut.
convinced by it,
Okay.
but
For me, I actually really like it, but I think like they intentionally make it really colorful, very like cartoonish because of the designs and the color, and they're trying to make it young and it's Adidas, right? With
With
color
style.
mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really like it, and I think the model is really pretty. It actually made me want to buy this more than the Lunar.
The Nike. Uh-huh.
Maybe because she's a girl,
Yeah,
but not lesbian, but it's more like
Could
connected.
project.
Yeah.
connecting in that, yeah.
yeah, they do
It
like
looks fun.
I guess show off the products, and the
Yeah,
clothing,
yeah.
the shoes pretty well. So
Yeah, I think like
That's
when there's
successful.
people in the product, it makes me can picture myself wearing it more.
You make that connection
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the brand, yeah.
I really like the collage style, like the like cut and paste sort of world of that they're living in, and that a lot of it seems that a lot of the built world and whatnot are also fabrics and styles that you would find in the clothes, or maybe I would just make that up. So like I think
I
like
think you're
with
right,
this
yeah.
I could get a top that has that red and white pattern on it or something. I don't know, that they're all kind of interwoven between the world they're living in and what they're wearing.
Yeah, you're kind of living the brand, the
Yeah,
lifestyle
yeah.
of it, everything about it is connected to it. And interesting to say about this is that this is the first campaign that Stella McCartney did that made her company profitable.
Really?
So yeah, her for collaboration with Adidas. So
When was that?
this, I don't know if it's this actual campaign, but it might have been a few years.
Yeah, she's been doing Adidas for a few
Yeah,
years.
yeah. But that first kind of initial
Yeah.
is what really has taken her brand and actually started making money.
Is
So-
the price point for this like lower than the normal style? If it's lower, maybe that's why.
It could be. It could
It's
be. And I
not
think
that
it's
much lower. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
lower than like one of her like evening gowns or something. But,
Mm.
like for exercise clothes, it's quite
Yeah, it's still
expensive. It's more
than-
expensive
Higher
than
end.
like Lululemon or.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
so it's kind of getting into this world of like designer athletics,
Yeah.
and it's like, is it really for athletics or is it for more of like
Right.
this lifestyle aspect of like I'm athletic, you
And
know?
then there was a theme to it, like In fact, it didn't really come across as very sporty. It was more just kind of action girls in the city hanging out.
Kind of like urban
Urban
lifestyle.
Like a
Kind of-
leisure.
Yeah.
kind of theme to it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very like aspirational. Just in,
Yeah.
yeah, just like in terms of like being able to afford it, but also being able to like afford the lifestyle, to wear it, or like having a reason to wear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to see Usain Bolt kind of in the Olympics, kind of
Yeah.
sporting events,
Mm.
or like, I don't know, be the woman equivalent.
There's like a bit concerned of why they sort of chose this like really like Japanesey thing. Just like
Yeah.
chose like I'm sorry, but like that model looks like, and she looks half Japanese or something. It's like, what does that have to do with the whole sort of like, ooh, I think it had to do with like the fast pace and like bright lights of like Tokyo and everything. It's like,
Oh,
like
interesting,
what are you
yeah.
doing? Yeah, sort of like a bit suspicious of that.
So definitely kind of marketing for like a regional, whether it's
Yeah.
like in Tokyo, like this is going to be.
Yeah, just sort of like, I felt like it was marketing for a lifestyle that wouldn't be sustainable for today, and it sort of made me just feel like it was just like seeing all the bright colors and stuff. I was like, something like all chemically blah blah blah. And I was like,
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. If it's like a sustainable line, but then all the colors are very
yeah, because like
non-naturally.
I relate Stella to sustainability, like seeing this, I'm sort of like,
But that sustainable means it has to be like earth tone.
No.
not necessarily,
So like
but
I don't think the color.
Because like let's say if the color was all made from recycled, let's say plastics
Yeah,
or pigments
yeah.
or something like that then got cycled in and
yeah,
given a second life,
yeah.
I mean that could still be
I think
considered
it's a little bit
sustainable as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come off like our first kind of intuitive understanding of sustainable is that that red would be like chemically produced more
For
so
me,
than
I would like to add that all the visuals around the clothing were too distracting. So I
Yeah.
couldn't really see the clothing. I was more focusing, like, was kind of
Yeah.
a little bit.
The colours kind of smack you in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. So I couldn't really see the clothes. Now that it's in post, I see the
Yeah.
clothes. But before, okay, I could see, but was all very confusing with the rest. Too many things happening at the same time. Too many textures, too many bright colors.
Yeah. I could relate to that.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the video. I enjoyed more the previous,
Hmm.
and this one, I think, is more like aesthetic appreciation. Maybe you're trying to be arty, but I don't know. I thought that I like the link between form, function, in the previous video than this one. I think this is only like
Cheap marketing.
aesthetical kind of
yeah.
yeah.
Always in my personal kind of always I like a meaning behind,
Hmm.
and this one I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very surface level.
Yeah, it doesn't really
permeate,
Quite
yeah.
superficial, I thought.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm not Irene-Marie, maybe.
And if it's profitable, like, obviously there's people who disagree.
Yeah.
It's funny too that like this one had like, it did have the narrative, like in the song, like I'm 22, I
Yeah.
don't do this, I do this, I go these places, whatever, and it's like,
Yeah. So like I feel like it's really attacking a certain demographic, and like, but it was a
Yeah.
demographic that I would probably a demographic that probably annoys me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
somebody like walking to Starbucks wearing all this like stuff, I'd be like, ugh.
yeah, it's very much like, this is for some like fictitious, person, or like, it's
Yeah.
not for you kind of
Yeah.
thing, like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but also at the same time, it, like, I didn't feel like those girls were the girls that the song was talking about, so it was kind of like disjointed, like where it was trying to have like all the text based, whatever that's happening was saying things to give you attributes of a character, and then throwing these other people at you who didn't seem like, I don't know, they
Kind of
were that-
resonate with
yeah.
it.
Just I
Or it's funny, like you would just have one girl. Like it's like like what's the point of having many people? Are they all homogeneously like non-bakers?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's also a demographic. Like, if it is a younger demographic, well, then where are their incomes coming from and where are they based? I mean, is that something that they can afford it? Is it a, because I mean, it seems like it's appealing to a younger, but is that something that, you know, are they in these positions making these salaries?
Well, maybe the
Then-
parents do, or, you know, or the college fund kind of things. They're in their late early 20s.
They actually
Yeah.
the easiest ones to like spend money because they don't earn it themselves.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
this-
thought of the consequence.
Is that a sustainable lifestyle?
All right, fantastic. Okay, so the last video is by a production studio here in London, actually, and they're working with Maxon, who is a German 3D design. They basically create software for 3D designers. And right now, the reason we're seeing more and more kind of motion graphics is because it's becoming very, kind of almost affordable, but very accessible for designers to work in these programs, where typically a video like the one you saw before would be a team of 20, 30, 40 people kind of doing everything by hand, where Maxon has created a program called Cinema 4D, where pretty much one person can do the work of 10 to 15 people. So we're going to see this big wave, and this is kind of them working with one of these production studios in London here to showcase what they're capable of. So yeah. Okay. So do 3, 2, 1.
That's cool. I like that. I like it. It was like just to see the richness and all the different textures, and just sort of just bringing in something like animals into that was like just cute and playful combined with like the complexity of the technology was just.
Is this
Sort of-
just
it was nice and
advertise the technologies?
Yeah, it's
Like,
kind
showcase
of,
the technologies. Right?
yeah. So, yeah, exactly. It's kind of now they're coming to a new age where technology is giving them the capability to create these things at such a rapid rate. Because before it would take months for the computer just to like figure these things out, and now there's one person sitting behind a desk that can literally put together these like vast realities and almost universes for people.
In this one, you know, on the first video you said, "Oh, are you confused with reality?" In some moments, it looked like very real. The texture of the hair, of the skin, fur. Yeah, it was like, wow, how can they do that?
It was convincing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Feeling especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks very real.
Very visually stunning. And I like the way they did it in like component parts and then kind of finished with the group of every animal that was showcased at the end. Kind of brought it together nicely. And there's a part as well where it kind of broke it down into the molecular structure. It almost went into like cells and that, like within, behind the animal skin. That just kind of, I suppose, is kind of communicating the message of depth, I suppose, for me.
Yeah.
That's I thought.
For like interconnectedness as well. It's like for all these different animals, but then at the end they're just made of these particles like everything else.
There's almost
Interesting,
like,
yeah.
for me, kind of like a stream of like emotions, I guess. Like at the beginning, it's kind of endearing, all these little animals, then it gets increasingly sort of ominous, a little dark.
Territory as well.
Yeah, and then they're starting to attack each other, and you're like, oh, like, this is like the way of like nature. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
how it happens.
Yeah.
And
right.
then it like they all burst into these like kind of acidic pop colors, it reminded me like my childhood or something. So yeah, I thought it was a interesting experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they're also kind of getting at is that you can take something that we're very familiar with, and now you can see through the layers, right? Because now, like you said, there's animals. They just seem so cute and cuddly, and then you take a look at them in their natural habitat, and it's like warfare for them to like survive. So there's something about that, and it's also interesting that you kind of feel convinced by it at times when you're thinking, is this real? Is this not real? And I think we're going to be coming into I would say like a bit of an era where you have like alternate realities now that are kind of created and produced. So
I'm so dark. I just like think like I don't know that someday like I'll be like showing videos like this to my children and be like, there was once a thing called a fox. And like now I watch a video like that, I don't know, I feel like that like I'm so like afraid of like that, I don't know, the reality is like moving in one way and the reality of the planet is like moving, they're kind of on this trajectory where it could then be like
like why does the extinction of a fox matter when you have this like projected reality?
Exactly. It's like, well, it's all gonna be fine because we'll all just like
remember what the
fox. Well, like we won't take holidays. We'll just go into rooms and put on VR headsets because it's too
It's the same
like
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my take on it. But I always am like 5 steps morbidly ahead of what it is that someone's trying to do. Yeah, so that's the only reason I'm just like, it's really cool and beautiful and engaging, but like, what is it for?
I think it's kind of like scary how real it can look. So that if the artist alter the reality and distort it, I wouldn't know it's real.
Right.
Like you could report something on the news and like it'll be totally made up, but it looks real and then you believe it.
Like I might not know the fox actually look like that, but in reality it doesn't.
There's one part where the fox went to bite.
I'm like, oh, don't bite!
That looked 2D for me. For me, I was unconvinced that one part. Everything else was like really, really visually stunning. But just that one, it just looked like a model.
When you kind of have that one moment and then it all falls apart for you, right? Yeah.
Kind of did for me.
Yeah.
I was less convinced.
Anything else? All right. So I think it's interesting what kind of the different experiences that everybody has with it, because it really kind of conveys a story, and then we're having this impact of like convincing, whether it's brainwashing with like a negative or a positive kind of outlook, and I think that's kind of what we find important is like this. I mean, we're getting into an age where we can communicate. We all have phones. We all have screens. We're all actively engaging in these things, and these are kind of these new technologies now that are being created that we're going to be kind of immersed in. So this is kind of a new frontier, I guess, what's going on. All right. There isn't sound to this. No, we haven't had a chance to figure sound out.
feel like I'm trying to decode it.
Okay, yeah, no, good, good.
And it's
good.
like so when the Volta piece sort of goes to the water's calm, and when it goes away, the water gets all messed up, and when I guess the right side of the scale looks like gross and looks like oil spilled and stuff. And when that gets close to the water, gets all angry. So it's really we're like good. The ocean likes us. The environment likes us. We're good. Yeah, that's what I felt. Yeah.
It's interesting because the way I saw it, it was more like a reaction when the tip of the pendant touched it and then like made something happen. So I was trying to figure out what that would be,
Okay.
but it was kind of like you dip it and it's like some like magical kind of like touch or something.
Yeah, right.
Mine is very similar to him, but I didn't see that part as like oil spill or anything. I thought it was like some kind of stone. And what I thought was like, oh yeah, that side was pretty too, but then why was the water angry at that thing? Because I didn't see it as oil spill. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the balance as well. So yeah, when this part was closer, kind of was less, let's say, tormentous or whatever. And I didn't, like, I understood there were elements like the stones, like natural materials, but I didn't understand what was that black stuff. And also this part either. Like, I didn't see, like, I don't know, it's like elements. I can see kind of, okay, these elements here, like, trying to get balance, but they're all in a way chaotic. But yeah, I didn't, for example, understand much this, like, I understand it's connected to this material, but I don't know. And then, yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is like, I understand it's kind of marble or something similar to that. But yeah, no, that's it.
I saw that the choppy water is representing kind of the everyday stresses of modern day living. I suppose the chaos and just the sense of being overwhelmed by frenetic kind of urban lifestyle. And then this pendant somehow giving you the sense of balance and tranquility. I suppose every time it made contact, it just kind of gave you this sense of peace.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, I guess like the stacks are like trying to do all these different things in modern day life, and then like as you try to do too many things at once, you just get like
Overwhelmed.
and frazzled.
Yeah.
Like Mariana was quite confused by the part on the right, and I think it's interesting what you say about the oil spill. I couldn't make much
But
sense.
you can see in a way chaos there.
Yeah, just kind
And
of
it's
stacked
like
up
and
and like juggling.
kind of trying to juggle with loads of things.
Yeah.
I think like I really love like this image, and I love like just I don't know, it's so surrealist and like Dada, but I wonder if that might be like I look at it and I just started thinking of like a ready-made, you know what I mean, like the way the display was, and then I almost just like it better when it's still, like when it started being animated. I was like, no, like I just want this, like I want this printed, like I want to print this, you know what I mean? And I know that's like, I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that in like.
It's almost Dali-esque.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
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 I was thinking about what's the metronome with the eye.
Yeah,
very famous ready-made.
yeah.
But like,
We should definitely.
yeah, and that just sort of reminded me of. But then at the same time, when that becomes animated, I don't know if I like it more or less, or you know. But with this, I was just like, no, I like this. Like I don't. Yeah, it's kind of.
Do you think it was kind of about the pacing of it? And like when it's still, you're able to absorb, and maybe it's the pacing and there's like so much going on that it's hard
very,
to.
Like
Yeah.
so it's like biting on a sour lemon. Like
you kind of have that.
yeah.
Okay.
Whereas like maybe if it was a bit like slower, like
Yeah.
like a slow pace,
Yeah.
and kind of like a recoiling, like in
Yeah, it
slow
was like with
motion.
different like zooms and angles.
Yeah.
So it lets you kind of enter the piece
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah.
Well, the piece in the animation itself.
Seeing it from different angles would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like zooming in on the different elements first, and then getting an introduction of each element before showing the bigger picture.
To kind of get an understanding of what is each part and how they're interacting together and how would they all.
Yeah, because I think for me at least, I was just so focused on the pendant and the tension of the water. Like I didn't even like really consider the other part. I mean, I saw like the balance thing, but then as everyone's saying, now it's kind of making, I think the meaning making more sense to me once I like factor in this whole other part. But otherwise, I really was just like focused on this one part.
I'm confused by the background. Like there's a lot of, like just visually speaking. So there's an ocean, and then there's the marble sun in the background, and the iceberg marble piece, and there's just a lot of white. I'm just confused by why it's surrounded, like why it's surrounding the pendant, and what does it mean in the background. And so just visually, I'm very confused with all the white. Doesn't really make sense to me in my head. And then I'm also confused, maybe just too far away from the screen. But I'm not really sure what the pink pieces are and the black one. So from here, standing in this position, I can't really see what it is. So I would have to come really close to see the screen and understand it.
Interesting, yeah.
And then, yeah, the other thing with the golden pearl on the right side thing, cute-ish thing. Just confused what it is there. Not sure what the meaning of it is. But I like the motion. I think it was great that it moved. But I was a bit confused with the setting. I wasn't really sure about what it means if there's a lot of white in the background.
So do you guys think that if you, let's say you saw this on a phone and you were scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or something like that, on that size, would it start to kind of fall apart because it's hard to recognize what these things are? Then?
On Instagram, there's an artist that does something similar, and I look through my feed and I see him, and it's just one object with one background, and we use a second object, and that's it. And then it's enough for me visually. So this would be too much for a screen on my phone, but this would be better for a desktop version, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So there's probably a limit then of how many things to like engage, because you're also only on there for, I don't know, 10 seconds at most, you know, then you're kind of flipping through, so.
I'm assuming it's like 3 pieces you're trying to showcase. That's what I'm thinking. Like the piece to the right there, the cube in the water, the piece up there, the blue ball in the gold kind of cage, and then you've got the pendant. Like they're the 3 pieces I can make out as like as jewelry that you'd wear. Originally this looks like a pencil. Like I wasn't quite sure, and then, you know, I was kind of primed to know it was a pendant because I got it right here beside me.
Yeah, I think.
But
Okay.
I think
So
without
having
that
seen
to
it-
guide me, I'd be more confused, I
Yeah.
think, really,
Okay,
when
interesting.
I
Yeah.
go to watch it.
Do you think it's the material on the objects that makes you think that you see like a golden material, so you naturally intend to think that that's a piece of jewelry with
Yeah, there's that association between
Yeah,
jewelry and gold,
okay.
definitely, yeah.
materials then? Yeah.
Actually, now I'm just looking at that piece there as well, the other kind of emerald colour, like a bluey, aqua blue.
Like
That
this?
could be, no, below, just below
This
there.
one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. For me, it's like everything like look like a stone. But
Yeah.
then obviously these are metallic gold or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we'd be more interested to find out what the pendant does. Like, I know that the pendant, you can open it and you can put oils in it. So I would think it would be really cool to see how the oil gets into the jewelry.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To actually interact, open it, and
Yeah,
and
or like
showcase
it's touching
that
the
way.
ocean and then the ocean flows into the pendant or something. So it's more like
Yeah.
I see the function behind it. At the moment, it's just a pretty piece of jewelry that might or might not tell me to calm me down, but I don't really see the function yet.
So, as it's interacting with the environment, also showing how do you interact with it and what goes on there to kind of link those two worlds together. Yeah.
I mean, there are different types of content you can put online. You can either put something that's just visually beautiful, you can just see, oh, it's funny, it's like a naked person in front of a pyramid or something, or you can actually put function in it. It really depends on what kind of content you want to have, I guess.
Definitely. Well, it is a functioning piece, so it's like that's kind of already alluding of what it can do.
It definitely sparks curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
You want to like explore and find out more about the piece.
It's also very girly, I think. Like this setting is very feminine. It's very
Mhm.
colors and
Pinterest.
very feminine, very
Gold.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't know if I see that.
you know, like marbled gold and pink. It's all like very, very Pinterest now. Like very girly, very minimal.
It's a bit of a
That
Realistic,
kind of
but I
feel.
wouldn't say too
I wouldn't say
feminine.
that.
I think they're quite neutral.
Yeah.
Colours.
It's an open ocean. It's,
Maybe I'm just wearing so much black that seeing a bit of pink is like super girly for me now. It does feel very girly for me though. I think it's a bit because it's blue and pink, and the white marble is very girly.
kind of pastel and soft and all
Yeah.
that.
It's very like. I wonder what it would look like with a black background, like spacey.
Hmm.
yeah, what is the point of the sea then? Well, I guess sustainability then.
Yeah. Did anybody get a bit of global warming going
Yeah,
on?
yeah,
Kind of the
yeah.
changing of the oceans
Yeah.
and maybe a
That
bit of an
makes sense.
iceberg there.
Guys, cop, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't get it. It's
Nice.
only when you say
I
it.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing that's the first thing I thought, but that's
Did
just
you?
because I'm always thinking about global warming.
Okay. Yeah.
And then someone said marble and it threw me, but originally,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely nice.
I was imagining like ceramic, like a toilet bowl or something. I mean, I was thinking kind of like one lines with like Dali or you know.
Duchamp and
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Because it is kind of a fantastical, surreal environment.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be, you don't want it to be too literal, because then that's just not as appealing.
Hmm.
So it's like you want it to be representative of an iceberg, but you don't want it to look exactly like an iceberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be something more symbolic there, I
Because then I
guess.
feel like if you get somebody to think a little bit more about it, it engages them more.
yeah, you
Mm.
provoke that curiosity.
Yeah, but then I guess you have to put a little bit of like a
More-
clue or
yeah.
something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of leads you down that road. Of,
It's not gonna be evident to like
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
It's always gonna.
It's nice just to have a little rationale. So,
The iceberg is quite a big symbol, like linking the jewelry to climate change and polar caps melting is quite strong.
hmm.
So I would ask, why is the jewelry connected to melting of polar caps? So
Yeah. That's. I think.
very strong. It's very
Yeah,
strong.
yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of seeing how many different ways of sustainability can you evoke. You know, is it something that's more a sustainable lifestyle? Is it more the environment? And so I think this piece was also created. There's a lot of just different visions and roads to kind of travel down to see what does this symbol evoke in the consumer, and you know, just to be able to see what you guys kind of immediately first were drawn to and able to kind of take from it. It was really interesting.
I wasn't thinking about global warming at all. I was thinking about like all about emotions. Like when the water was like looks really angry, I thought about like people's mind.
What kind
Because
of,
I think
yeah.
because like a jewelry, I don't see it relate to global warming. Maybe global warming can be like something like towards the end of like being sustainable.
Mm.
But the direct translation of the jewelry is more about the person who's wearing it. So I think about like the emotions of the person who's wearing it. Like if I wear it, I won't become like the angry scene movies like that.
Yeah. How many people here, I mean, and this is just out of straight curiosity, does anybody who thinks that global warming is actually happening to this point? I mean, is it a crucial kind of matter that anybody's thinking about? I mean,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we can all
Yeah,
agree with
okay.
that.
What's that?
Never heard.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know exactly how to pose that because I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
let somebody out
Are
on it.
there any Republicans?
Okay, interesting. Right.
Hmm.